Hey, my name is Thomas and we're standing in my hometown of Cologne in front of the Photo Gregor, the biggest photo store, one of the two biggest photo stores of the town, a very old store as well. And I thought I also brought a camera. Here I've got it. It's so small. It's the Voigtländer Perkeo II. It's a full 6x6 camera. So let's find out more about it. It's Christmas time, so there's a lot of holiday going on, also for my lab where I developed the film. So I already shot this camera. I've got a roll of film to share with you. I shot it in Tilburg in the Netherlands, and today I'm in Cologne and we just talk about the camera. I'm going to talk you through it, through the features, how to operate it, and again, I'm so amazed how small this is. It just disappears in your pocket and you don't even notice it. So let's have a walk. So Voigtländer Perkeo, that's a small series of folding cameras. So press the button, folds out like this, like the Zeiss Econ camera I showed you in one of my last videos. And these were only made between around 1951 and 1956. There were three different models, this being the Model 2, that was a little bit more upmarket compared to the Model 1. This has got a full exposure counter and some other small nice amenities. And then there was the third model called the Perkeo E, which had a rangefinder built in, which wasn't coupled to the lens, but at least you've got a rangefinder. Apart from the model you're using, the second thing to differentiate the different models is the lens. So this Voigtländer Perkeo II comes with a color scopa, we Germans say, 18mm f3.5, which is a 4-lens element design. It's very similar to a Zeiss Tessar, a very high quality lens for the time. And the cheaper models had a f4.5 Vasca lens. That's only 3-lens element design, but both lenses were available for all three of the models. In theory, in practice, most of the time you encounter a Perkeo II, it will have this better lens because it was a little bit more the expensive model compared to the Perkeo I. But if you find a Perkeo I with a good lens, with a color scopa, it's also a very good buy. To operate, you press a small button here, then this clicks into place. As usual, all the settings, aperture and shutter speeds and everything are around the lens, and as also usual for these old folding cameras, the film advance and the cocking the shutter is not connected. So you cock it from here, you set the times here. It's got a Compo Rapide, which is the best shutter available at the time. It gives you all the times from 1 full second up to 1/500th of a second, and it's also synchronized at all times. Typical for these old cameras today is the slow times don't work because the shutter is sticky, needs a CLA job, a clean loop and adjust, and you shoot it from here. But to shoot it, you need to first wind the film, and normally winding the film will trigger something inside that releases the shutter, so there is a prevention for double exposures. Focusing is here, goes down to 1 full meter, which is standard for the time. There is no rangefinder, only the Voigtländer Perkeo E had a rangefinder which wasn't coupled, so you would set the rangefinder, read your distance somewhere here and then put it on the lens. Winding, as I said, is here, and you don't have to look at the red window or something, because it will automatically use this small thing to determine that you want the film, and then it will also stop at a defined point, so you get a very even frame spacing. So in this regard, this camera is very, very convenient to use compared to all these other folding cameras. You also never run the risk of having a double exposure, all that stuff. So very comfortable to shoot. To put the spool here, you sort of use this. You lift this, place the spool here, put it in, click. And now your film goes here. One thing to notice if you use a folding camera is because you see how tight the space is in here. So when you open it, if you do that too fast, it sort of will suck air, and the film will tend to go a little bit in here, so it's not really plain anymore. So do that always with care. Open the camera not too fast. The big thing about the Voigtländer Perkeo II model is the automatic film counter, and there's a lot of stuff going on inside under the top plate. You can find some videos on YouTube, because this mechanism can be a bit tricky at times, and then it can be a bit hard to fix just as well. On my camera it works perfectly, and it makes super evenly spaced frames on the film. So that's a really nice feature, but it is tricky to operate. I'm going to show you why. If you wind the film, you wind it here, this thing will move and it will stop. And now you see it went from 4 to 5, so it's counting the frames. Now cock the shutter, shoot, and then you would wind again. Goes to 6. To 7, to 8, to 9, to 10, etc. up to 12. You can only do 12 exposures. After that, it will unlock this lever, and then you move the lever to the other side to wind on, so that the whole rest of the film disappears here. Also, when you put in the film, you first have to put it in, and then you have to use the red window here to go to the first frame. Only then you pull the lever here, and then it starts with the automatic frame counting. So loading and unloading is a little bit of tricky on this camera. I recommend you to go to butkus.org and look for the manual, and there it is really explained in detail. But in general, the frame counting is a very nice feature of this camera. Makes shooting a breeze, but not loading. And now it disappears, and it really can disappear in small pockets, because it's just 480 grams, 6 by 6, 480 grams. In use, these old folding cameras have some shortcomings, and that's also the reason why people switched to the 35mm cameras, which were faster, easier to operate. The main shortcoming of this camera is very clearly the viewfinder. It's a very small affair. It doesn't help that these cameras are like 50 or 60 or 70 years old, so it's also always, there is a lot of dirt inside the glass. You really have to clean it, but even afterwards, it's a super small basic viewfinder. No fun. The operation is a little bit clumsy maybe in times, but once you loaded this camera with film, this Voigtländer Perkeo II is actually super easy to shoot, thanks to the double exposure prevention and the sort of easy film advance with the film counter. That's super cool. That makes this camera preferable to many other of these old folding cameras if you really want to shoot it. The images they are also very good. This Color Scopa lens really delivers. Images are crisp and sharp, especially around f8, which is maybe the preferred aperture also because you don't have a rangefinder. So I shot a lot on a tripod, then again the viewfinder is just no fun at all, but the image results speak for themselves. And then last not least, it's so super small and lightweight, you just can, it's a perfect travel camera. So overall, even though it has its shortcomings, it's a highly recommended camera by me if you are into this sort of analog photography. The results are superb and it's easy and small to live with. So that's it for today. I hope you found this useful, maybe even interesting. If you did so, then please leave a like. Also, write something in the comment section below if you've got any questions or comments. You know I love to read them all and I will happily answer every single one of them. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. It's a great support for me. Many thanks again. Hit the small bell button for notifications. So, live long and prosper. I hope you have a great time. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.